Hello everyone. Hi, good evening to all of you. Welcome to Unacademy. Welcome to this session. I hope I am audible and visible to all. So once again, I'm Saral Nashier with you today on this Unacademy Cat English channel where we take all sessions in complete English. So I'm sure that you all can hear me perfectly and you can see me perfectly. Good evening, Sakshi Singh. Very good evening to others as well. Can you all just confirm it once to me? Is everything fine? Then we'll start with our session today. So what are we going to talk about in this session? So let me just tell you that what are we going to do. So first of all, when I talk about LRDI, there are two major things which are part of LRDI, that is logical reasoning and data interpretation. So in our today's class, we are going to continue with our session of data interpretation, which we started, of course, from the previous class. So in the last class, we started with the first few basic concepts of DI. For example, that what is the growth percentage, increase percentage, or how do we find out the average annual growth? How do we calculate the simple annual growth rate, compounded annual growth rate? And then we did some questions which were based upon the data represented in the form of a table. So generally there are three, four types of data which are there in which DI can be represented. For example, table is one of them. We can also have line graph. We can also have bar graph. We have a pie chart as well. These are the four core types which are there. But from these four core types, we can make multiple more types as well, right? And many of these have appeared in CAT as well. For example, a spider web graph has appeared in CAT. There has been a radar graph, which is also there. A triangular graph has always also been there. So there are multiple types which can be there. So that ways I thought of discussing these types with you because we talked about some questions based upon table yes in the last class. So today it is about line graph. So we are going to discuss about line graph in our today's class. Okay. So I'm sure everything is fine with all of you. All of you can hear me now. All okay. I assume that everything is going fine with each one of you, right? So after that, we shall start with our class. Okay, so first of all, something about me that you see on the screen, it's already written. So I have total experience of approximately 20 plus years. Moreover, I've scored 100 percentile in QA and LRDI section of CAT. And I mean, more important for this session would be that I've scored 100 in LRDI as well. So that means, I mean, you can understand all the things from the perspective of a person who has appeared himself in the exam and has cracked it as well, right? So that all is about me. Of course, if you are taking any kind of subscription on Unacademy, you just have to use this code SARAL to get the maximum possible discount, right? That's my name, of course, so you can just use it. Okay, I'll move ahead from here straight away. If there is anything that you want to say, please do let me know. And currently, you are getting a flat 50% off on all CAT and OMET subscription on an Academy app, right? So if you take a plus subscription or an iconic subscription, they all are at 50% discount. So 39200 is the actual price, 50% discounted prices 19600. Similarly, for the 18-month subscription for iconic and plus as well. And there also you have to use the code SARAL to take, I mean, the subscription here. Okay, everyone. So I think we can move ahead from here. Once again, I would request all of you that whenever you have a doubt, whenever you have a question, please put it in the comment section. I would want this to be discussed with you, right? That's the basically benefit of doing a live class, that you can ask your questions and I can, of course, answer those questions at that very moment. So let's start with our today's type, that is a line graph, and we start with these first five questions. So first of all, you have a look at it, and after that we shall start talking about this as well. Just have a look and then we'll start. Try to understand what is given to you on the screen. I'm sure you all have read it now. So can we start doing it? Let us see what does the question say. It says, answer these questions on the basis of the information available in the graphs below, which gives the share price of four companies in on 6 consecutive days of a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are the 6 consecutive days. The share prices of these companies are given to you in rupees. Now, you see there are two axes. One is the x-axis, which is talking about the days. One is the y-axis, which is talking about the share price in rupees. Of course, you also have lines in front of 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. So that you also get to know that the lines opposite them are representing 5, 10, 15, etc. only. Okay. Now, if I look at all of these, what is the price of share A or ATA on Monday? Can I say the price of share A on Monday is equal to 10, right? Because it is lying on the line of 10. Similarly, the share price on Tuesday of share A is 15 because it is lying on the line of 15. I hope it is absolutely clear, right? So the first day the share price is 10 because it is lying exactly on the line of 10. Second day it is lying exactly on the line of 15. That means the share price is 15. When we talk about the third day, which is Wednesday, now what is happening on Wednesday? That is important. What is the share price of A on Wednesday? If you closely look at this point is not exactly on the line 20, though the top of this point might be touching 20. The top might be touching 20, but it is not on the line 20. So there is a difference between a point being on a line or a point touching a line from the top or from the bottom. So just keep that in mind. Many times people make this mistake that, for example, I have a 10 here and I have a 15 here. These 10 and 15s, they are having the point exactly on the line, that the middle of these points lie on the line, right? If you look at this point as well, the middle of this point lies on the line, right? But if you look at this point, the middle is not lying on the line, rather the middle is slightly below. Now the total line is equal to a gap of 5. So what should this be equal to? It is very close to a gap of 1. That means this value is very close to 19, right? Now you might have a question here, sir. I mean, why 19? It can be 19.2, it can be 18.8. See, with the naked eyes, it is almost impossible to figure out whether it is 19.1 or 18.9 or it is exact 19. So therefore, in all these cases, we always assume whatever comes to proves to be true. For example, if a value is lying exactly between 20 and 15, exactly between 20 and 15, I will take 17.5. But you will again have a question there. Sir, how can you say it is exactly between? We should be having a scale to measure it from the top and from the bottom so that we are able to say exactly in between. But scale is not allowed in the exam. How do we do that? So as I said, that with the naked eyes, whatever you see, if you feel that is exactly, of course, the point that I currently see, I'm calling it 19, right? Of course, 19 is not in the middle of 20 and 15, that I can surely say, right? Let me make another point. Let me make a point here now. Okay. Now, if I make this point here, you will see that this point is slightly below that of 19, but even this point is not exactly between the two. This point has a large gap down there and a smaller gap on the upper side, right? The gap on the upper side is smaller than the gap on the smaller side, lower side. So therefore, this point would be somewhere equal to 18. Can it be 18.1 or 17.9 as I said? So whatever best approximation in integers you can make, you just do it and take it as 18 only. So that's how we decide these values, though generally CAT would not get into this, right? Generally CAT would not give you points such that the points are so close to each other that if you have to figure out between 17.5 and 17.4, it would make a difference to your answer. It would not. And if it does, then he would better write the values on these points. After giving the, this line graph, he would also write these values on the graph itself. He would write wherever 17.4 is there, wherever 17.5 is there, so that you can answer it accordingly. But yes, a little approximation must be done on your side as well, keeping all the things in mind that yes, this point I cannot call at 30, this must be equal to 31. This point I cannot call as 20, this must be equal to 21. This point I cannot call as 40, this must be equal to 39, though this point is exactly 35, because the points which are exactly 35, exactly 20, exactly 30, they would be having the middle of that small circle on that line, right? Whatever that small circle is, the middle point of that small circle, it should be there on the line. Otherwise, if it is slightly above, of course it is one or two above. If it is slightly below, then it is one or two below, and that's how we try to approximate these values. The benefit of a line graph is that you will easily get to know whether the price is increasing or decreasing. If the numbers are written, you would not get to know. Moreover, immediately after looking at it, for example, if I talk about the last graph, which is data, right, you can see the increase over here is higher than the increase over here. Just by looking at the slope of the line, I can see this, right? So that ways, comparing the increase and decrease between all the shares, it would become easier for a line graph, and therefore generally in these cases the data is represented in a line graph only, right? Which of course cannot be seen like this in a table graph, which cannot be seen like this in a bar graph or a pie chart. So that makes it important. I hope it is understood. So this is all the data. This will be available to you in the upcoming pages as well. Before I move ahead, let me just show you the first question here. So please try it once, and after that we will start it together. So try it, guys, and give me the answer. Whatever answer you are getting. Can I get any answer? Okay, Sakshi Singh has answered it. So let's start doing it now. I would try to have more answers as well. Please try to answer, guys. Which share shows the maximum percentage increase over the week, that is Monday to Saturday? So which share is showing maximum percentage increase from Monday to Saturday? So when the question is asking the increase from Monday to Saturday, you are only concerned about the prices on Monday and Saturday only. It does not make a difference to us whether in between we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what happened on these days, it went down or it went up. So for us, it is important that what is the price on Monday and what is the price on Saturday. So if I talk about share A, the price on Monday is equal to 10, and which increased to the value of 35 on Saturday. When I talk about B, the price on Monday, it is equal to 19, and which rose to how much? It has gone up to 21 over here, right? 19 to 21. When I talk about C, the price on Monday is this, which is equal to 25, and this 25 has gone up to this point, which is equal to 39. And when I talk about D, the original price is 29, and that price has increased to this value, which is equal to 31. So here I see there is an increase of 25. Here I see there is an increase of 2. Here I see there is an increase of 14. And here again there is an increase of 2. This 25 is the increase on a base of 10. This 2 is the increase on a base of 19. This 14 is on a base of 25. And 2 is on a base of 29. I hope you remember it from the last class. It is given by the final value minus the initial value, which I've written as a difference on the numerator, divided by initial value into 100. So that's how I get the maximum percentage increase over Monday to Saturday. Okay. Good afternoon, Sahil Patel, and very good afternoon to all of you again. So among all these values, which is the highest? Of course, this is the only one which is more than 1. Rather, I would say all the others are less than 1. So which has to be the highest? It is A, or ATA is the answer for us. That is the right answer for this very first question, correctly answered by Sakshi Singh as well. Very good, Sakshi Singh. So here comes the second question. I would want to have more correct answers for this second question as well. Try to answer it, guys. Let's see the second question here now. So please try this second question as well. So this time the question is that which share shows the minimum percentage increase over the week, that is Monday to Saturday. So who is giving you the minimum percentage increase here? From Monday to Saturday, which share is showing the minimum percentage increase? Can I get any answer again? Sakshi Singh gave the right answer last time. Who all are going to give the right answer this time? Which share has shown the minimum percentage increase over the week? That is Monday to Saturday. Okay, Sahil Patel Singh that says that I think data is the answer. Okay, great. Let's start doing it then. So which share shows the minimum percentage increase? Rather, all the percentage increases we just calculated on the previous page as well, right? So I'll use the data on the previous page only. Okay. So now it says, when I talk about A, it went from 10 to 35. A had an increase of 25 on a base of 10. When I talk about B, it went from 19 to 21. It has an increase of 2 on a base of 19. When I talk about C, it increased from 25 to 39. That's an increase of 14 on a base of 25. And when I talk about D, it went from 29 to 31. That's an increase of 2 on a base of 29. Of course, 25 by 10 is quite high. 14 by 25 is much higher than 2 by 19 or 2 by 29. They are easily visible to us. Now, when I talk about 2 by 19 and 2 by 29, of course, larger the base, smaller would be the value. So, yes, data share is the share which is having the minimum percentage increase in it. That should be the right answer. Very good, Sahil. Ayush, probably you made this mistake here, that in 2 by 19 the base is smaller, but that when base is smaller, the denominator is smaller, the fraction is actually higher, right? Had 19 been in the numerator and there 29 had been in the numerator, then Bata would have been the answer. But in case of denominator, we all know that lower the denominator or smaller the denominator, larger would be the value. Larger the denominator, smaller would be the value. So in these two cases, I would say that numerators are same, but the one which is having the larger numerator is data. So therefore, data would be having a minimum percentage increase among all of them. I'm sure it is understood. Yes. Ayush, you got the point? Yes, Sakshi and Sahil, they both had given the correct answer here. So let's see what happens in the next question. Question number 3 on your screen is here now. So let's try to answer this question number 3 as well. Yes, great. What about question number 3? What is the right answer this time? What is the question asking you here? It says, which of the following share prices shows the maximum percentage increase with respect to the previous day? So the first question I talked from Monday to Saturday. maximum percentage increase. In the second question, I talked about minimum percentage increase from Monday to Saturday. And this time we are talking about maximum percentage increase with respect to the previous day. So did A have the minimum percentage increase with respect to the previous day, or A on Thursday, or C on Friday, or D on Friday? Which one is correct this time? Once again, can I see some answers? Ayush Deora, Sahil Patel, Sakshi Singh, anyone else? Sahil Patel has already answered. He says B option, that is Atta on Thursday. Can I see some more answers, guys? Sakshi Singh also says that is option B. That's great. Good to see. So fast that you guys have answered. Sahil and Sakshi both. Ayush, others, what do you think the answer should be for this question? Maximum percentage increase with respect to the previous day, just a day before. Maximum percentage increase with respect to just a day before. Okay, let's start doing it. So now I have to go, option by option, because if I talk about values with respect to the previous day, now there are so many values that I have to calculate. Okay, Ayush also got the answer as option B. For example, I have to calculate that what is A's percentage increase on Tuesday with respect to Monday, on Wednesday with respect to Tuesday, on Thursday with respect to Wednesday, on Friday with respect to Thursday, and on Saturday with respect to Friday. So there are 5 such values for A, 5 such values for B, 5 for C, 5 for D. That will make the total number of values as 20. I'm not going to calculate 20 values here, of course, right? So if there are 4 options, let's try them one by one and see which one among them is the highest. So let's try them now. So atta on Tuesday, the price of atta on Tuesday is 15. The previous day it was 10. So from 10 to 15, the increase is 5 on a base of 10, or you can say 50%, easily visible. Then I talk about atta on Thursday. On Thursday, atta is equal to 30, and on the previous day it was 19. Just pay attention. It was 19 to 30. So from 19 to 30, that means there is an increase of 11 on a base of 19. Then C on Friday. Now C on Friday is how much? On Friday, the value of C is here, which is equal to 30. A day before it was equal to 20. So from 20 to 30, there is an increase of 10 on a base of 20. And D on Friday. D on Friday is equal to how much? It is equal to 35. A day before it was 25. So 25 to 35, an increase of 10 on a base of 25. Now this value is exactly 50%. This value is exactly 50%. This is definitely less than 50%, and this is definitely more than 50%. 11 by 19 is more than 50% because 11 by 22 is 50%. And when I decrease the denominator, the value becomes higher. So there is only one value which is greater than 50%. All others are either 50 or less. So therefore, the correct answer for this question is option B. Atta on Thursday shown the maximum percentage increase in this case. And that is the right answer for us in this question as well. I hope this is understood. Anyway, Sahil, Sakshi and Ayush, they all got the right answer. Others, I'm assuming that it has been understood. Wherever you have a doubt, please type it in the comment section as well. I would try to just clarify the doubt here, right? That was question number 3. I'll move ahead now to question number 4 on our screen, which is here. So please try question number 4 as well now. Here comes question number 4. Which of the following share prices shows the maximum decrease with respect to the previous day? Sorry, minimum, not maximum. Can I see some answers? Any answer, guys, for question number 4? Sahil Patel has got the answer here. Sahil says option C, that is C on Tuesday. Ayush Deora has also got the same answer. Brilliant. Sakshi, others? Okay, let's start solving it. Which of the following share prices shows the minimum decrease with respect to the previous day? There is an important point. I do not have a word percentage here. He just says which one shows the minimum decrease. The word percentage is not there, which is showing the minimum decrease, right? That means the absolute decrease I have to figure out with respect to the previous day. A on Friday. So A on Friday is equal to how much? It is 25. The day before it was 30. So from 30 to 25, there is a decrease of 5. I don't have to calculate the percentage. B on Wednesday. Now B on Wednesday is how much? B on Wednesday is equal to 25. A day before it was 21. Sorry, 29. So 29 to 25, there is a decrease of 4 here, right? Then C on Tuesday. If I talk about C on Tuesday, C on Tuesday is how much? It is equal to 21. A day before it was 25. So from 25 to 21, there is a decrease of 4 again. And D on Wednesday. D on Wednesday is equal to how much? It is equal to 31. A day before it was 34. So 34 to 31, there is a decrease of 3, right? The minimum decrease with respect to the previous day is shown by data on Wednesday. Even in percentage terms, this would be highest, though the question was not asking about percentage terms. He was just saying the minimum decrease. And that minimum decrease was there in option D, which is equal to data on Wednesday. And that is the right answer for us. So looks like this was a trick question. Sahil, Ayush, Sakshi, they all got into it, right? Got into the trap and got the wrong answer. The right answer for the question was option D, that it has decreased by 3, which is the minimum on this day. I'm assuming that this is understood to all. I'll move ahead to next question. Question number 5. Yes, Sakshi, Sahil, Ayush. I hope you got your mistake. I'll move ahead then to the next question. Question number 5 is here. Please try this as well. This is the last question on this particular set, after which we'll start with the second set here. Okay, good. Sakshi and Sahil, understood? Okay, Ayush. What is the right answer for this question number 5 now? These kind of silly mistakes, right? They make you aware the next time you do such a question. And therefore, I always say that keep coming to these sessions. I'm sure they are going to help you a lot. I'm newcomer for preparing for a CAT exam. Okay, Mayuri. So that's what I was talking about right now. These sessions are absolutely for the newcomers actually. So as far as DI is concerned, you would be able to cover your DI through these sessions. I'm already taking some topics of LR on the another channel of Unacademy. Unacademy Cat is the channel name, so there you can find it. And the info about all of those sessions, some of them are taken on the Unacademy app as well, which are absolutely free for everyone. You'll find the info if you join my channel, Saral Nashier _ Unacademy, right? So whenever you just download the app, use the code Saral to take any subscription or anything, and join me on the Telegram channel too. I'll also give you the QR code to join those groups. For this question, Sakshi Singh says that probably A is the answer. So let's start solving it now. If Tarun sells a share on one day and buys it the next day, then his percentage return will be maximum if he. does what? Now, what is percentage return? He has said that percentage return is selling price minus buying price into 100 divided by buying price. Now, first of all, if you sell a share on one day and you buy it the next day, so of course the profit would be higher when selling minus buying is higher. That means buying price should be smaller than the selling price. When selling price is higher, of course, that's pretty common, right? In the day-to-day life also, you can take it that way. In day-to-day life, you want to make profit, you want to purchase the items at a smaller price, you want to sell them at a higher price. So selling price should be higher and buying price should be smaller, such that selling minus buying, it becomes something which is greater than, which is positive, such that you have a profit. He says you have to calculate it on the buying price to find the percentage. So Sakshi Singh is saying A is the answer, Sahil is saying D is the answer, Ayush says C is the answer. We got three different answers this time. I hope B is not the right answer because no one said B. But let's see what happens this time. Okay. Sells A on Thursday. If he sells A on Thursday and he buys on the next day. So if you sell A on Thursday, the price is 30. You buy A on Friday, the price is 25. So return would be 30 minus 25 upon the buying price, which is 25 into 100. It is 5 by 25, that is 1 by 5. And 1 by 5 is 20%. So you have 20% return in case of option A. Look at option B. Sells Bata on Tuesday. If you sell Bata on Tuesday, the price of selling is 29. The next day price is 25. So it is 29 minus 25 upon 25 into 100. I would straight away say this is not my answer because here I have got the same base as option B, but the return in the first case is 5 rupees, return in the second case is 4 rupees. So both have the same denominator, whereas the numerator in second case is smaller than first. So therefore, this also is not my correct answer. Shivam is also saying C. So we got two people saying C. Let's see what's right. Good, Shivam. Come to point C now. Sell C on Wednesday. If you sell C on Wednesday, what is the price of C on Wednesday? It is equal to 29, right? And next day the buying price is 20. So you have 29 minus 20 upon 20 into 100, which is 9 by 20. That's 45% return, right? It is 45% return. And finally, sell B on Friday. If you sell B on Friday, the price of B on Friday is 30 and the next day price is 21. So 30 minus 21 upon 21 into 100, that is equal to 9 by 21 into 100, or you can say 3 by 7 into 100. This is close to option C because it is 42.84%, but still the highest is option C. So he will have the maximum return if he sells C on Wednesday. So for fifth question, the correct answer is option C. Ayush and Shivam, they both gave the right answer for this question. Sakshi, Sahil, I'm sure you understood your mistake. Ayush and Shivam, brilliant guys. Mayuri, I'm sure you have understood this. Others as well. So that was question number 5 on this very first set that we were doing today. Now I'll straight away move to the second set to discuss more questions on line graph and of different types as well, right? So here this was one of the basic types of line graph in which just some graph lines are given, right? On the x-axis you have something, on the y-axis you have something, on the basis of which you have to answer the questions. What are the other types as well? What all a line graph can represent? I'll try to show some of the types today itself. Let's move to the second type here to understand it better. Here is question number 6 to 8 and a single line, though what does that line represent? Look at the data. Just have a look at it once. Okay, Sahil, looks like you took the base of 20 in option D as well, right? That's what I started with because it's a very common mistake, right? People see that it's very close to line, it's touching, so let's take it 20 or 30 that way, and that makes the whole difference. You must take care of that. That will create the difference. Always pay attention to these parts. I'm sure you all have seen this. The following line graph shows the ratio of the wheat production to rice production of a state in India over a period of 7 years from 1999 to 2005. Answer the questions based upon this data, right? It is the line graph which is showing production of a state, rice production of a state. Okay, but it is not showing the exact production. It is showing you the ratio of the wheat production to rice production. It is the ratio of wheat production to rice production. So wheat production divided by rice production, whatever this comes out, that is given to you in this data. What does that mean? So when it is equal to 1, I see in 2002 it is exactly equal to 1. So if it is equal to 1, I would say that wheat production is equal to that of rice production, because when you cross multiply, you get them equal, right? But if it is smaller than 1, for example here, now what is this value according to you? See, this line is representing zero point 0.4, this line is representing zero point 0.6. Had there been something exactly in between, I would have called it at zero point 0.5, but it is not exactly in between, it is smaller than that. So I would take it between zero point 0.5 and zero point 0.4, that is 0.45. So here I would say that wheat production to rice production is 0.45, or you can say wheat production is 0.45 times of the rice production. Wheat production is 0.45 times of the rice production. 0.45 times of the rice production. So can I say wheat production is lesser than the rice production, or rice production is more than the wheat production? Yes, Sahil, that's correct. Here I can surely say that wheat production is less than rice because it is 0.45 times of rice, right? Or you can say rice production is more than wheat. So when it is less than 1, wheat production is lesser than rice, right? Whenever it is less than 1, wheat production is less than rice. So can I say whenever it is more than 1, wheat production is greater than rice? Because then wheat production would be 1.2 times of rice production, 1.5 times of rice production, 1.4 times of rice production. So if it is greater than 1, wheat is more productive, right? Wheat production is more. When it is lesser than 1, wheat is less productive than rice. Okay, so that's how we have to answer the questions now. This is the only data, but this time, as I told you, the line graph will not always give you the exact value. Sometimes line graphs will give you ratios like this as well, which I'm showing you on the screen. Try the first question from this. Here is the first question, that if the rice production was this, then what was its wheat production during 2003? How many of you will answer this correctly? Because this is a question I think all of you can answer correctly. I can see the right answer from each one of you for this particular question. Can I have the answer, guys? Tell me fast. What is the right answer for this question number 6 according to you? It's a very simple, straightforward question. Shibam has already answered as C. Very good, Shibam. Any other answer, guys? What is the right answer for question number 6? Shibam has got the answer as C. Sahil, Ayush, Sakshi, Mayuri, anyone else? Sakshi has got the answer as C. Great. Two people have answered already. They have answered as C. Ayush has answered as C. Let's start doing it. If the rice production in 2003 was 4 lakh tons, what was its wheat production during 2003? If the rice production in 2003 was 4 lakh tons, what was the wheat production? And what is this graph giving me? It is giving me the ratio of wheat by rice. Sorry, wheat by rice. So in 2003, right? If I look at this graph, it is telling me that the ratio was exactly 1.2. So wheat production divided by rice production, sorry, this was 1.2. So wheat by rice is equal to 1.2. So wheat is equal to 1.2 times of rice production. And the question says that the rice production in 2003 was 4 lakh tons. So if I put 4 lakh in place of this, I'll get 4 lakh into 1.2. The wheat production will come out to be 4.8 lakhs. And that's the right answer, option C, which is correctly answered by Shibam, Sakshi, Ayush, all of them. Sahil, where were you? This was a very easy question, should have been answered by you also correctly. And very good, Shibam, Sakshi, and Ayush. Simple question. I'm sure it must have felt easy now after doing the question. And let me tell you, I've taken this set from one of the actual exams of MBA. Let's move ahead. Question number 7. Here is question number 7 for all of you. Here we come to the next one. Question number 7 on your screen. It's here. Okay, Sahil, but I think it was easy, isn't it? Possibly you some misjudged something or miscalculated something. Otherwise, you could have got it very fast. In previous few questions, you calculated very fast. In how many years wheat production was more than the rice production? Sahil Patel has answered very fast. Shibam Saha has answered very fast. Very good, guys. In how many years wheat production was more than the rice production? Mayuri has answered very fast. Good, Mayuri. Ayush has answered. Great. Very good. Sakshi as well has answered. Okay, that's very good, guys. So in how many years wheat production was more than the rice production? So wheat production is more than the rice production. That automatically means wheat divided by rice productions is greater than 1. And wheat by rice production is actually given in the graph. So wheat by rice should be greater than 1. That means our ratio should be greater than 1. This line is representing 1. So where all it was greater than 1. This is one case where it was greater than 1. This was another case which was greater than 1. So my answer is option A, that is 2. Mayuri, you have answered C. Possibly you calculated these two as well. But these two are the cases in which wheat was equal to rice. If the question was, in how many years wheat production was more or equal to rice production, more than or equal to the rice production, in that case my answer would have been 4. But the question strictly said it should be greater than. So greater than means greater than. So I should have taken these two values only. I would not take where they are equal. So there are two places where they are equal or 2 years where they are equal. So those two would not be counted. My answer would be 2 only. I hope that's understood to you, Mayuri. Everyone else anyways got the right answer. I'll move ahead to question number 8, which is here now. Let's try question number 8 as well. Slightly lengthy, but I'm sure that all of you can do it very fast. So please try it. Question number 8. Okay, great, Mayuri. Question number 8 is here. Let's see how many of you answer this question number 8 correctly. These kind of questions sometimes take time to even read them and then to analyze the data. It takes time. Reading it, processing it, analyzing it. Shivam has got the answer as the very good evening, Hemant. Very good evening. So, as a welcome gift, try this question, Hemant. Give me the right answer. If the total annual grain requirement that is wheat and rice together, of the state is 5 lakh tons, and the rice production during 2001 was 3 lakh tons, how much grain had to be imported from the other states of India to fulfill the requirement? Shivam has already answered it as D option, that is 0.65 lakh tons. What about others? Okay, I think we can start it now. Okay. The total requirement the question says is 5 lakh tons, and he's talking about 2001. The rice production is already given as 3 lakh tons to us. So in 2001, if I talk about wheat by rice, it is equal to, in 2001, it is equal to 0.45. I'm sure it is clear to all. It is 0.45. That means wheat production is 4.45 times of the rice production. And rice production is already given as 3. So 0.45 into 3, that is 1.35 lakh tons. So total rice production is 3 lakh tons. Total wheat production is 1.35 lakh tons. So I can say the total production, total grain, basically we saying wheat and rice together, right? So total grain is equal to 3 lakh plus 1.35 lakh, that is equal to 4.35 lakh. So the requirement is 5 lakh, but we have just 4.35 lakh. So what is the downfall? I would say 5 minus 4.35. So this is equal to 0.65. So there is a deficiency of 0.65 lakh tons, and that is the right answer for us, option D, that 0.65 lakh tons must be imported from the other states to fill this up, and that gives me the right answer for you. Sorry, sir, I'm trying, but it's my first day, so it's hard for me to understand. I completely understand this, Mayuri, and it's not that it is happening to you only. Everyone who starts preparing, initially this happens to everyone. It will take some time, but I'm sure soon you will catch up. Thank you for your free sessions. You help us a lot. Thank you, Heman. Thank you for such kind words. I'm sure this is understood to all of you. This was the third question on this data set. So this was the second graph that we had today. And I'll move on to the third graph. But before moving there, something to tell you about, that there is a new batch that we are starting now, Catapult batch for CAT 2024. The batch is starting from June 15, 2024. You can see all the educators who would be taking this batch, right? And these are all the things that will be a part of this batch. To subscribe for this now, you have to use the code Saral, right? Basically, any of the subscriptions that you are taking on Unacademy app, you can use the code Saral to get the maximum possible discount, which is possible at that particular time. And you can join us in this batch as well. Of course, in a batch, the complete this syllabus would be done, right? So we all would be doing it together. So I would be there, Raman sir would be there, Sameer sir, Sandeep sir. We all would be taking care of quant and LRDI. Then Lokesh Sharma and Karishma ma'am, they both would be taking care of the verbal ability section. So that's how we are going to complete it. Though Unacademy has a subscription model, it is not necessary that once you are in a batch, you have to study in that batch only. The good thing is that you can complete your syllabus in any other batch as well. So that flexibility allows you to actually study at any particular point of time from any of the teachers, taking any of the practice test or data. So that's always there with you, right? That's a good thing about it. Now we start with our next set number 9 to 13, which has got some data of GDP in rupees billion and percentage of GDP for agriculture, right? Just have a look at this. After that, we shall start talking about it. Just read it once. We have 5 questions once again on this. Answer these questions on the basis of information available in the graphs below, which give the GDP in rupees billion and the percentage of GDP for agriculture in the given years for country X. Okay, GDP in billion and percentage of GDP for agriculture. So first graph gives you the GDP. So we can say that 40 billion rupees is the GDP in 2003, 50 billion rupees is the GDP in 2004, 60 billion is in 2005, so on and so forth. Similarly here, percentage of GDP for agriculture, it is 2% in 2003, it is 2% in 2004, it is 3% in 2005, it is 3.5% in 2006, so on and so forth. Now, there is a very important point here that I want to tell you, that sometimes line graph can be represented in a way that the same graph can represent two different axes as well. Yes, I mean to say, for example, in the same two graphs, I can put both of them into the same one single graph. How? So you just say that, let's say this is representing 2%, this is representing 4%, this is 6%, this line is for 8%, this line is for 10. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. Let me just remove all of them. Yes. So this is 0%, this is 1%, this is 2%, then I have 3%, then I have 4%, 5%, 6%, and 7%. Okay. And I'll make another graph over here. That another graph is this, and then this line goes like here. Then from here I have this, right? Then from here I have this. From here I go to this point here and here. So what would he say? He would write it in the same graph. Now you don't need the second graph actually. He would just show you the first graph and he would say that in this graph, the two lines are showing the GDP in billion rupees and agriculture as a percentage of GDP. But for the percentage of GDP, the agriculture as a percentage of GDP, you have to see the right graph, the right axis. Whereas for GDP in rupees billion, you have to see the left axis. So I would say this axis you have to see to calculate the GDP, and this axis that you have to see to calculate the percentage of GDP as agriculture. So for this line, you would be referring to the right hand axis, and for the other line, you would be referring to the left hand axis. So that way, sometimes the same two graphs can be represented in one single graph. So two different axes can be shown in the same graph as well. That has been there sometimes, which is there. Currently, he has made two graphs, so of course, we'll be going according to that. I just wanted to give you an idea about this. I hope you understood. So I'll move ahead to question number 9. Here is the very first question for all. Give me the answer. What's the answer for question number 9 now? Shibam has got the answer as 0. That's great. We got the first answer from Shibam. Shibam has given the first answer. He says 0. Ayush also has got C, which is equal to 2. We got two answers from Shibam and Ayush. Very good. What about others? Any more answers? Shivam and Ayush, they both have answered already. Okay, Mayuri has answered as 2. I suppose that means option 3, Mayuri, or option 2? Sahil Patel also got option 2. Okay, that means 1. Let's start doing it then. Okay, let's see what is the right answer. In how many years has actual agriculture spending? What is actual agriculture spending? Because the graph is giving us the percentage, right? In terms of percentage of GDP. He is asking the actual. Actual means the absolute value of the agriculture spending. He says in how many years it has reduced as compared to the previous year. Okay, let's see. See, the GDP here is 40, here it is 50, here it is 60, again it is 60. Here I have it is as 35, and lastly it is 45. The percentages are 2%, and then again I have 2%, then again I have 3%, then I have 3.5%, and then I got 6% and 6%. So let's write down all these values. What are these values? Let's try to figure out. 2% of 40, it is $0.8 billion, right? Then I have 2% of 50, which is $1 billion. Then I have 3% of 60, which is $1.8 billion. Then I have 3.5% of 60, which is equal to $2.1 billion. Then 35% of, sorry, 6% of 35, which is again $2.1 billion. And finally, I have 6% of 45, which is $2.7 billion. But I also see one thing over here, that once I have calculated these values, why do I need the graph now? Can't I do all my upcoming questions using this data only? Now I don't need the graph anymore. I can just make a table, write the GDP in that table, right? That GDP in first year is 40, then 50, then 60, then 60, then 35, then 45. Let's make this table. Then what is the percentage of GDP which is the agriculture representing? It is 2%, it is 2%, it is 3%, 3.5%, 6% and 6%. And finally, I have the value as well. What is that value? So the absolute value of the GDP is 0.8, then I have 1, then I have 1.8, then I have 2.1, then I have 2.1, and then I have 2.7. So once these all are calculated, anyways, I do not need any of the two graphs now. I can answer the question just by looking at these values, right? So in how many years the agriculture spending has reduced? I don't see anywhere it being reduced. 1 year it has remained the same, otherwise it has always increased. So my answer would be option 1, that is 0, that it has never reduced ever. Just have a look at this and let me know, is this understood, guys? Have you all understood this? Is it absolutely okay? Yes, Ayush, I hope you got your mistake. Mayuri and Sahil and Shibam, very good for giving the right answer. Brilliant. I'll move ahead now to question number 10. Try to answer this question as well. Here is question number 10. In the given years, what percentage of the country's total GDP has gone into agriculture? In the given years, what percentage of the country's total GDP has gone into agriculture? Read the question very carefully to understand what is he asking you, what is to be calculated, and then you can do it real fast. In the given years, what percentage of the country's total GDP has gone into agriculture? Can we have an answer first? Okay, Shibam Saha has given an answer. He says option 2, which is 3.6%. Very good, Shibam. Brilliant. Okay, he gives the exact value as well, which is 3.62. Previous slide. Okay, you want the data from previous slide, Sahil? Well, that anyways can be calculated very fast. You don't need it, I suppose. I mean, we can calculate it once again. It doesn't take much of time. Though, if you want to take a screenshot, or let's say you want to take a picture, you may take it now. So take a picture or a screenshot of this. I can also give a pose if you want to. And then we'll move on to the question again. Okay, I'm sure that you have taken it now. Okay, let's move on then. Let's start doing question number 10. What does it say? We have to find out what percentage of the country's total GDP has gone into agriculture. So first of all, what is country's total GDP? Let's calculate this. It is 40 plus 50, that is 90, plus 60, which is 150. 150 plus 60 is 210. 210 plus this is 35. 210 plus 35 is 245, and 245 plus 45 is 290. So the total GDP is $290 billion. Sorry, rupees. Total GDP is 290 billion rupees. Okay, Sahil Patel has answered as A and Mayuri has answered as option 2. Let's see what is the right answer. How much of it has gone into agriculture? So how much was agriculture? We calculated this. First year it is 2% of 40, which is 0.8. Second year it is 50 is 2%, which is equal to 1. Third year it is 3% of 60, which is 1.8. Next year it is 3.5% of 60, which is 2.1. Next year it is 6% of 35, which is again 2.1. And last year it is 6% of this 45, which is 2.7. Let's add them. So it is 1.8 plus 1.8, 3.6. 3.6 plus 4.2, that is 7.8. 7.8 plus 2.7 is 10.5. I have to find out this 10.5 billion rupees is what percentage of 290 billion rupees? Overall GDP, right? So the total GDP is what percentage is this value now? So 10.5 as a percentage of 290, that's what we have to calculate here in terms of percentages. So this all into 100. When I take out the decimal, another zero comes and it becomes 105 divided by 29. Now 105 by 29, 29 threes are 87. So my answer is 3 point something. This cannot be the answer. This cannot be the answer because it is 3 point something. Now 29 threes are 87. After that I am left with 105 minus 87, that is 15. Now 150 divided by 29, I am surely saying it is greater than 5 times of 29. So it is 3 more than 3.5. More than 3.5 is 3.6 because 3.4 and 3.1 were smaller than 3.5. That becomes the answer. I repeat, I saw the total was 10.5 divided by 290. Remove the decimal as 0 came in. Two zeros are cancelled out. I got 105 by 29. Now 29 threes are 87. So my answer should be 3 point something. Two options are eliminated. And 105 minus 87, it was equal to 18. Sorry, not 15. It was 18 rather. Now 180 divided by 29. I'm saying it is surely more than 5. 20, rather it is around 6. Because 29 into 6 is 174. So this is very close to 3.6. 3.61 or 3.62, something like that it will be there. So that becomes the right answer for us. 3.6%, that is option 2. So options would be that far that we can figure out that which option is to be eliminated and which is to be chosen. You don't have to always calculate the exact value and then mark the options. That's not needed. You can just say that, okay, around this I'll be getting my answer. So around 3.6, and the other options are too far from it. So 3.6 is the right answer for us. I hope you understood it, guys. So I see that Shibam has given the right answer for the question. Mayuri gave the correct answer. Sahil Patel gave the right answer. All three had given the right answer. That's very good, guys. As I said, with time, you will start solving them by yourself. Mayuri this time gave the right answer as well. Good evening, Rishu Kumar, and congratulations, Mayuri, to you. I'll move ahead to question number 11 on your screen. It's here now. The total amount given to agriculture would be how many times the total amount given to education if every year 2% of the GDP is given to education for the entire period. You can do this question real fast as well. You have to be a little smart for that, and you can actually answer this real fast. Okay, Shibam Saha has answered it real fast. Very good, Shibam. He got the point, looks like. He says option 5, that is 1.8 times, is the right answer. 290 into 2%. Okay, okay, Shibam. Actually, this question is quite related to the previous question. If you just try to relate them, you can do this real fast. Okay, Mayuri says answer is 1.8. Oh, Mayuri, looks like that you have started answering correct now. Huh? It's your very first day of preparation. One by one, you have given two answers correct. Let's start doing it, guys. What I was saying, that question is saying that 2% of the GDP is given to education. So education gets 2% of the GDP. And in all these years, we just calculated in the previous question that agriculture has got 3.6% of the GDP. Didn't we calculate it just on the previous page? So agriculture is 3.6% of GDP and education is 2% of the GDP. So this 3.6% is how many times of 2%? Isn't it 1.8 times? That's the right answer. Rather than calculating the exact value, that what is 2% of the total GDP, and then calculating what is the total GDP of agriculture, and then finding out that what is the relation between them, straight away through the percentages I can answer this, that agriculture is 3.6% of GDP and education is 2% of GDP. So 3.6 is how many times of 2? It is 1.8 times. And can we do this in percentages? Yes, because they both have the same base. This 2% is calculated out of the total GDP and 3.6% is also calculated on the GDP. So ultimately, if the base is same, so whatever times the percentage is of the other percentage, the same number of times would be the actual values, the absolute values as well. So the correct answer for this question is option 5, that is 1.8 times. I'm sure it is clear, guys, to all of you, completely understood. This takes us to the next question, question number 12. And very good, Shibam and Mayuri, for answering correct in this question. Let's see who does it in question number 12 now. Of course, as the number of questions would be increasing, the difficulty level would also be increasing. It will always be there. The next question would be slightly tougher than the previous question. Though in the actual exam, it does not happen like this. Sometimes the last question is easiest. Sometimes the question in the middle is easiest. Due to the global scenario, it is obligatory for the government to allocate at least rupees 3.2 billion for agriculture in 2009, provided agriculture spending as a percentage of GDP does not exceed 6.5%. What is the least desirable GDP for 2009? Shivam says 3 is the correct answer. That is 49.23. That's great. Very good, Shivam. Very fast as well. Others? Shivam has already answered as 3. What about other guys? Can we have answers from others as well apart from Shivam? Yes, Mayuri. Where is Sahil? Where is Ayush? Sakshi? It's hard to understand. I can understand Mayuri too. It is slightly harder. Let's start doing it. Due to the global scenario, it is obligatory for the government to allocate at least rupees 3.2 billion rupees for agriculture in 2009. So he says in 2009, agriculture sector must get at least 3.2 billion rupees. Okay, this is the minimum that they would be getting, provided agriculture spending as a percentage of GDP does not exceed 6.5%. So whatever this agriculture, I mean amount is, it should not be more than 6.5% of the GDP. It is at least, right, sorry, maximum 6.5% of the GDP. So what is the least desirable GDP for 2009? So what is the minimum possible GDP should be there so that this condition is met and this condition is also met. So if I look at this, that 3.2 billion, if it is equal to 6.5% of something, what is that something? That something is 3.2 upon 6.5 into 100. I would say 3.2 into 2 is 6.4. So can I say 3.2 divide 6.5 at slightly above 2, just above 2? 32 into 2 is 64. So it is 32 into 2, slightly more. So 100 divided by 2 point something is slightly below 50. If it is slightly below 50, that means it is very close to 49. I see an option called 49.23 over here. That means if I have 49.23 billion rupees as GDP, 6.5% of that will be exact $3.2 billion, and then this condition would be met. If I have GDP lower than that, 6.5% of that would not be equal to that. And of course, if I take percentage less than 6.5, it would further go down, and I can't take the percentage above 6.5. So ultimately, this is the minimum possible GDP that we must be having. By that logic, I would say option 3 is the right answer. I agree. The question was slightly difficult, but Shibam has answered it correctly. Sahil Patel has answered it correctly. And I see even Mayuri has answered later on as correctly. I hope you all understood this question now. And that was question number 12, which brings us to the last question of our day today. Here is question number 13. Please try this question, which is the last one for the day, and then we'll close the session after this. We have question number 13 here. Okay, once again, Shibam has answered it the first. That is option 2, he says. Can we have more answers here? Shivam says second option, which is 4.8. Let's start reading it together. If percentage of GDP allocated to agriculture in 2009 increases by twice as much percentage points from 2008 allocation as the percentage point increase in 2005 over 2004. Now, what is percentage point increase? Percentage point increase is the direct difference between the two percentages. For example, he says as the percentage point increase in 2005 over 2004. What is the percentage point increase from 2004 to 2005? In 2004, the percentage share is 2%. In 2005, the percentage share is 3%. The percentage point increase is 3% minus 2%, that is 1%. And he says the percentage allocation in 2009 increases by twice as much this one. Twice of one is 2%. So it increases by 2% from 2008. So from 2008, if something increases by 2%, it will become 8%. And it is again 8 percentage point increase. So 6% plus 2% is 8 percentage. That is the GDP allocation in 2009. Now the question says what will be the GDP allocated to agriculture in 2009 if the total GDP is 60. The total GDP is 60, the allocation is 8%. So how much is given to agriculture? It is 8% of 60, which is 4.8 billion rupees. The correct answer is option 2, which Shibam answered very fast. Very good, Shibam. I'm sure that everyone else also understood this question. That was the last question that we had today. And the important point here was to understand percentage point concept. That percentage point is the direct difference between the two percentages through which we could calculate it easily. Okay, I'm sure you guys loved the class, and these are our brilliant results that we have produced last year. You can see the people with their percentiles and the converts as well. Of course, there are many more. They all cannot be fitted on one single screen, but you can definitely be part of this next year as well. Also, if you go to Unacademy app, you can also practice 25,000 plus practice questions, and that's also completely free by using these. Go to the app, go to the practice session and select QA, LRD and BRC, and to register, use the code Saral which I have given you earlier. Okay, guys. So that is all from my side. I'm sure you liked the class. I'm sure you understood the concept. Please keep coming to these sessions in future as well. I'm going to take this complete series. So last time it was tables. Today it was line graphs. Next time it's going to be another type for all of you. And once again, we'll be discussing some questions there. So join me on that day in the next class. Till then, bye-bye.